Not a bad bit of rescuing, huh? You know, sometimes I even amaze myself. Welcome back, everyone. Here we are with issue 99. So, let's go ahead and take a look, see what we got going on here. We're going to talk about the SS-54 Assault Halo, or Ship Halo. So this one was seen in Clone Wars. And then we're going to talk about the bombing tactics and both TIE bombers and Y-wings. And here are our next parts. So we'll get into those. But first we've got some other stuff to do. So we've got gun turret. I've done one. My brother did one. And I could use his. It's just got some touching up, but I have to take it all apart to sand it anyway. So I thought that I would just go ahead and it took me a little while, but I did find mine. And so what I figured was, since I've got to do all the cleanup work on it anyway, I might as well just go ahead and put mine together. It's been a while since I put them together, and I don't even know when it told you to put it together. So um, you need to add the guns and further paint-ons to complete the lower surface. These have been left until now to avoid them becoming damaged. Rest the model on the jig or a cushion while doing so. All right, so this will actually give me the opportunity to paint the guns as well. First thing I need to do, well, we got to do some cleaning, obviously. But I need to figure out which screws will go in there. I believe they're going to be these ones, because if I recall, they were fine threaded. So there's these ones that are fine threaded, right? You can see how fine those threads are. And then there's these other ones that are not so fine threaded. See if you can tell the difference there. These ones are not fine threaded. And these ones that are not fine threaded are, they're made to make their own threads in, plastic. So they have very specific uses. And I think we only need 3. Yes, we only need 3. I've got 3 here. So let's just double check that these are the correct ones. Yep, they screw in. All right. So we've got those going for us. We'll set those off to the side. And now we'll begin the fun part. Let me get my files for metal. I have different files. I have plastic files and metal files, and I talked about this way back when I built this one, put this one together, which was like second issue or something. So this one's been all together for a long time. Now you can see along this here, there's no seam, whereas if you look at this one, let me see. Yeah, I can feel the seam. There, you get the light just right. You can see the seam along there, and you'd see the same thing here. So that's what I'm going to be cleaning off, is the seam. Going to take a while. I'm going to need a file to do that. So let me get my metal files. Reason why you separate your metal files from your wood or your plastic files is because the metal files will really get into the file, and if you use that on plastic, you're really going to gouge it up. So if you're trying to do fine work or whatever, you'll really gouge it up and mess it up. So let me get my metal files and we will get started. All right, here we are. Guaranteed forever. Wonder if Lowe's will honor that. Okay. time to get started. All right. There we go. All of these parts have been sanded, filed, what have you. So let's go ahead and clean these off. I'm just going to use some alcohol to clean them. But first, let's dust off our mat. There we go. A little 70% isopropyl. And really the only reason why I'm cleaning them is just to get the filings and whatnot off. Could be some oils and whatnot, but I'm probably going to get some oils from my fingers as I'm putting it together. So, but I'll get the majority of it off if we can. So So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue these in, because otherwise they're going to keep falling out. Alright, now I just need to prop this up so that way they can dry before I do anything else. So much for propping it up. It's very unstable. Alright, so we'll let those dry. And let all that dry, and then I'm going to go start getting them painted. And we'll work on those. See what our next part is. We'll work on these. Mostly just painting. The next part is painting the screen appearance, painting the landing legs. Yeah, this means you can use artistic license to give the legs a weathered finish to match the rest of the model, also based on appearance of the full-size props of the Millennium Falcon. There are a few close-up views of the legs in the classic trilogy. Most are obscured by the lighting, but these examples are typical references. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over, get these painted, and then I've got something additional I'm going to do with these landing legs. So let me go, these will be dry by the time I get over there. Let me go give these some primer, and then when we come back, we will go over what we're going to do with these landing legs. See you guys in a little bit. Here we are, everybody. We've got the other items over there with the paint on, drying. What we're going to do here is apply some makeup. So my wife had the idea. She felt like these were far too clean and everything, considering how everything else looked. So she thought that it would be best to dirty them up. And so we were contemplating some ideas, and she said, how about some makeup? She goes, I have some makeup that I am not using, so you can use it. And essentially, it's just like using like a powder pastel type thing. Only difference is I have some, but I'd have to get them all scraped up and everything. And this is already there, and I've already done a test run on it. I don't remember what I did with the test cord. I could show you. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, here we go. So you can see on this side, just added some of the stuff, and then here in the middle, I basically use a combination of both. And then on this other side, one I use just the dark, one I use just the light. This other side is pretty faint, but like if you look at the middle, so we take the middle and then we compare it to the actual black, you can really kind of see the difference. So we're going to go with, there you go, you can really see it when they're right next to each other. So we're going to go, the middle is a combination of both. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. And I'm just going to, so I've just got a little bit on the brush here. I don't need a lot. and I'm just going to dust it on. So in especially model model railroads, when you weather, a lot of times people will weather with powders. You can get specific powders for weathering. And if you're putting on plastic, what you'd want to do is when you're done, you're going to come across with a clear coat, and you're going to come across with a clear coat to seal it all in. But since this is fabric, a cord essentially, I'm not going to deal with that. So, and I just want to definitely get some of the extra blackiness off of it. Plus, also, this cord has what you might call a bit of a shine to it. So, in true makeup fashion, we're going to take away the shine. And just going to kind of mix it all in. And just to use as a comparison, you can definitely tell the difference, right? So it came out really well. And we're just going to do that with the rest of these. All right, as you can see, there's not really any rhyme or reason to it. It's just a matter of putting it on there and getting it dirty. Just go through all of these and make sure they're all good to go. And I don't even care if some of the powders get on the rest of it. I mean, first of all, the powder will pretty much come off. And even if I smeared it in and it stayed on, like, what's worse can happen? It's just going to add a different color to the weathering, right? So it's not like necessarily a bad thing to have it weathered with some additional stuff. I mean, this whole thing is just discoloration. Plus, again, this is very freeform. I mean, the manual, or the magazine even said so. It's just, do what you want. So that's what we're doing. These backsides are a little bit difficult to make happen. The important part is we want to make sure that there's no shine to it. These were definitely not new, right? They were used and had dirt and dust from all over the place, different planets and whatnot, oils, all that kind of stuff. There was even some images that looked like there may have been some like white cables or hoses or whatnot. And so I thought about going, I have some tan paracord, and I thought about going with something like that. But I was like, we'll just stick with the black. It'll be good enough for the girls I date. Well, there you go. Little makeup job for you. I think what we're going to do, let's just have a quick look at what we got going on in the magazine. So did the legs. Now it's telling you to put them in and all that kind of stuff, make sure they fit and whatever. I'm not going to go through that at the moment because I need to flip it upside down and all that. The next part will be this stuff here. I think I'm going to hold that off for the next episode. So I need to research all of these so I can get them all pre-painted. So I'll get these painted and whatever. We'll get this stuff attached. I'll have to check. I might have to pre-check with issue 100 to see if there's any more parts besides just these ones. Because if there are no other parts, then we'll paint this whole thing before we attach these other parts. And by painting it, we'll have to get these other things done as well. So it's going to be kind of adding a few other things. And we'll work on these other items as well. But we'll get started on the rest of that in the next episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and may the force be with you always.